We need to have a serious conversation about why this is such a profoundly terrible idea. The idea of Hexit, a forced Hungarian exit of the EU. Not only is this a profoundly terrible idea that will make the EU more vulnerable to people like Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump, it will also play directly into the hands of Viktor Orban, who wants desperately to retain power as his popularity is shrinking at a rapid rate. After a major scandal broke last year where we learned that Viktor Orban pardoned a priest that did crimes against children, you can look it up yourself, it resulted in Fidesz, his political party, tanking in the polls month after month. They have gone down 5% in the last 6 months alone. Since June 2022, they've had a steady decline with only minor bumps that literally last only days at most. And most importantly, there has been a serious party split within Fidesz, with an opposition party rising up to first place. TISA, led by Peter Magyar, has literally catapulted up out of nowhere to seize the first place position in Hungarian politics, and it is continuing to hold it. As we can see, Viktor is still doing poorly, whether 6 months ago, 2 months ago, or even 1 month ago. And TISA continues to dominate in the polls and grow as people realize the moment to push Viktor Orban out of power and his political party is now. So not only is Viktor Orban on track to lose elections next year, it is also important to understand the geopolitics of what is going on. Viktor Orban's Hungary sits at the heart of Europe, and the idea of having a Russian-allied satellite state sitting inside the Schengen zone, inside the European Union, one that borders Poland and Ukraine, would be incredibly dangerous. So many people in the comments when I pointed this out stated, well, it doesn't border Russia, but people. We have planes. Do we forget that part? People also pitched the idea of kicking Slovakia out, as well as their Prime Minister, Robert Fico, is another incredible reactionary authoritarian who wishes for further and further ties with Putin's Russia and has Putin's line on Ukraine and the EU. This fantasy of forcing Slovakia out would again create even larger borders with a Russian-allied state. People seem to forget the problems that already exist with Belarus bordering large amounts of the EU and Ukraine, where that the Russian Federation has a military province in the middle of the European Union. We have entered an age of great power politics, and when a state leaves your bloc, it enters another one, either willingly or by force. And this is the major problem of the degrading situation geopolitically right now. This is also important to understand the necessity and reasoning why the Commission is rapidly discussing speeding up accession to the EU of all the member applicants that are currently in their process. This means rapid accession for the Western Balkans, several countries that have been on the long decade-plus road for some of them to join the European Union. This is very important because the Commission understands that either they're going to join the EU in the next years and months, or they are going to be brought into the sphere of someone else. And this is strategically dangerous for the European Union in this world of great powers. There is also the association trio of Moldova, Ukraine, and Georgia, who all, for various reasons that are quite clear and the threat of the Russian Federation, need to find themselves within the European Union or face completely being eclipsed by it. We've seen how quickly Georgia has been overtaken by not only their domestic oligarch, but the assistance and backing of the Russian Federation towards Georgia's Georgian Dream Party and their rule over the country that has gotten only progressively more authoritarian as the days and months have gone on. And this is the danger of leaving these countries out to be manipulated by the other great powers. This is also why conversations around Iceland joining are also beginning with the European Union, because they recognize that their stability depends upon aligning with the European Union before something like Donald Trump's fascination with Greenland hits them. And looking at a map like this, you start to understand very clearly how dangerous it would be for any of these countries to fall further into the American-Russian sphere. In a world of great power blocks, it's vital that the European Union understands that it is the bearer of the standard of democracy, of a future of equality and human rights, in direct opposition to the Russia-American pact that has formed in its own self-proclaimed opposition to the European Union. It is led by leaders like Vladimir Putin, who has long wished to destroy the Union as he sees it as a threat to his own Eurasian Union project, and also Donald Trump, who only just a week ago said that the European Union was literally formed to, quote, screw the United States. I reject the idea of kicking Hungary or Slovakia out of the Union or any country because they have managed to elect some jerk leader. It is not good. That is not how we're going to have a stable future, one that guarantees democracy for everyone in this European Union. We need to help our Hungarian friends and comrades in solidarity in their attempts to oust their leader in their elections that are only a few months from now. They are already doing the bulk of the work and have managed to get Fidesz, their literal party of the dictator, out of first place in a country where he controls so many mechanisms of power and institutions and media that it is very hard to get any fair shake in politics. Hungarians are doing this right now, and they need our help and solidarity. Same with Slovakians, who are working to kick out their own man, their own strong, corrupt leader in Mr. Robert Fico. And you see the same thing happening in Serbia, where a popular uprising against the cruel corruption of their own government and their president, and Alexander Vucic, is leading the way. These are the things we need to be seeing. People are standing against these reactionary authoritarian rulers who have been able to launder nationalist slogans to fuel their own desires and corruption. This is the future we need to fight for. Together, a Europe united is stronger than America first, and we need to help each other to build a better democracy for all of us, not to just kick out or shun people when they have been led astray or are ruled by tyrants. Now, please do some engagement or else no one's going to see it and I'm not going to get paid. Have a great day.